Comparing the White Room and ANHS might be a dumb thing to do, because we already saw how magnificent Ayanokoji is and how he could annihilate the entire student in school. One is a famous and respectable school, while the other is an illegal and dangerous facility that could make Atsuomi goes to jail. However, if we compare it fairly, I don't think White Room is better than ANHS as an educational facility, at least not with a huge gap. There are several reasons, but the most important factor is quantity. According to Suzukaki, the average dropout rate for 8 years in a White Room is 30%, which will definitely be higher if they continue the education for a long term. White Room could only produce a limited number of successful students each year, while ANHS has more than 100 graduates each year. I know you want to say that quality is way better than quantity. However, let's take a look at how the failed student ended up in the White Room. According to Tsukishiro, most of the students who failed to survive in the White Room ended up too broke to use. In Yuki's case, she was traumatized and too afraid to leave the house. It will be hard for them to become respectable members of society. In the worst case, they will become a shut-in, or even end their own life. Looking at the decline of Japan population, I don't think it's a good idea to ruin a lot of children's lives just for the sake of a sociopath like Ayanokoji. In ANHS, even if a student got expelled, they still got a well-treatment and transferred to another school. It might be a bit traumatic for some people, but it's not like they will become a joker and destroy the entire civilization. However, we must admit that White Room produces some high-quality human, such as Yagami and Ichika. Let's not include Ayanokoji because he is the real enigma, but even without him, White Room students are clearly better than the best ANHS graduate. I cannot see students like Nagumo or Manabu hold a candle against Yagami, at least in terms of pure individual ability. White Room started their curriculum since the subject was a baby. They focus on developing body and mind without any clear goal. They just train and study following the curriculum, and the one who cannot follow it will be expelled. They arrange everything starting from the lecture, and even the smallest details such as their food. There is no competition, their only objective was to survive, even without knowing why. In ANHS, the students have a very clear goal, which is to graduate from Class A. They divide students into 4 classes and make them compete. With Class A privilege as their motivation, students will try to improve themselves, so they are not going to become a burden to their class. They work together with their class to compete with the other classes. And like the White Room, they grow as a class, not just individually. Both White Room and ANHS have their own plus and minus. While the White Room students have very good academic and athletic ability, they seem to have a tendency to look down on people and have trouble cooperating. On the contrary, ANHS students might have better time to cooperate, but they tend to get carried by 1 or 2 exceptional students. In terms of chess, a White Room student is like a queen piece while ANHS is the 8 pawns. The queen has the ability to move freely on the chessboard, but the pawns could support each other so they could make it to the last square. Quality or quantity, alone or together, this has already become a topic of debate for a long time, and I guess each person has their own opinion. If you choose the queen, you will have the head start and a high possibility to eat all the pawns before they could promote. But if you choose the pawn, you could possibly promote all your pawns and get 8 pieces of queen. The White Room students is just like an all-in-one package. They excel in academics, sports, social ability, and even some skills like piano or calligraphy. On the other hand, ANHS classes also have all of it, but spread it among the students. Some of them excel at math, some of them excel at basketball, and some of them have good social skills. If the White Room student wants to win on their own, they need to crush their opponent before they can unite and grow, just like what Nagumo did. If ANHS students want to win, they need to support and protect each other so they can grow their potential, just like what Ayanokoji tries to do. There will be no end if we try to argue which one is better if we only look at the result, so let's try to see it from a different side. The White Room students undeniably lack emotion and common knowledge. They spend almost their entire life in a secluded place, far from civilization. Thanks to that, they could focus on themselves and work hard 24 hours each day without any vacation. However, as the payment for their advanced IQ, their EQ stops growing. In terms of EQ, ANHS did it better. They create a wide secluded place with a ton of entertainment so their students could enjoy their life like a teenager should do. They could have a luxury life as long as they have money, which becomes another motivation to gain class points. They could freely socialize with another student and explore their hobby with club activity. Even if their IQ is not the best, they grow their own personality and make a connection with a lot of people. IQ might be important, but in the world of work, the one who is sociable and fun to be around is usually more accepted than the former. This is how ANHS approaches their education. ANHS is safer and obviously legal, while the White Room still has the risk of being taken to court if the world knows about it. However, it's not like White Room doesn't have room to grow. Considering White Room was founded long after ANHS and only run at a very small scale without any backup from the government, White Room has the potential to surpass ANHS as long as they keep improving the curriculum. The fact that they implement a communication curriculum in the 5th generation is a proof that they realize their weakness and try to fix it. Atsuomi said that ANHS is just child's play compared to the White Room, but I think Ayanokoji's opinion is closer to the truth. There are a few things that a White Room cannot teach the student, and ANHS is still a very good place for some incompetent to grow and fight toe-to-toe with a genius. If Ayanokoji could implement what he learned from ANHS into the White Room would definitely be unstoppable. If someday, he returns to the White Room and changes it, a perfect genius might be born and surpass Ayanokoji. Or, that's what I'm hoping for.